Yo, JD here, Limitless, and today, since we've got Silverstone this weekend, and I will be there on Saturday and Sunday, so if you are there, make sure you come say hello. Since we've got this track, we've decided to do the 110 AI once again. I've done it in the video before, but this time we're going to go in the Red Bull against the 2019 level cars, see how we do. And we're going to go in Cockpit cam this time, and this is the view I've only just played around with today. Today being the day I've actually made this video. Did it a couple of times, a little bit of practice, but trying to get away as usual, not getting the best of start against this AI. Managing to recover just at least one position from Grosjean. Now we're going to go down the inside of the McLaren of Norris, who is doing very, very well so far in the free practice and hopefully has a good weekend as well. But now we're on to the back of my teammate Ferraris and the Mercedes out in front. And the question of this video is, which is the title of this video, is how entertaining do you think Cockpit cam actually is? Do you think it's something that should actually be used for esports or anything like that? Because driving in this view, I'm not gonna lie, I won't be using it unless it's forced, and if it was forced, wouldn't really have a problem with it, in all honesty, at all. The only reason why we use the TV pod is we're getting very, very close to Vettel there. The straight line speed is just immense, and the AI seems to be just a straight line speed. You can see here, look how much they're pulling away, it's crazy. We're going through the corners, you can see here now, this is where we're going to be making up a little bit of time. But as I was saying, the only reason why I use TV pod is not because everyone else uses it, it's because it's the view that I feel I'm fastest in, and it gives me the most spatial awareness, which is very, very important when you're doing league racing and when you're using full damage, and particularly in esports where sim damage is on. I know there's a couple of guys who do use Cockpit cam, like Bono House, Weiss, whoever you want to pronounce his name, and Ollie Pakala, and I think Enzo Benito. I'm pretty sure he does use TV pod though. Those guys use it and they're very, very quick with it, so there's no such thing as a view that is the quickest view. It's all relative to you, up to you completely what view you're comfortable with. I used to use Far Chase back in the controller back in the day, so I think you can be the quickest in any view, you just got to get used to it. But TV pod definitely gives me the most awareness when I'm side by side against someone. It's much easier to tell how far away you are from someone. But using this view, it definitely just feels a lot more intense to me, definitely a lot more immersive. If you had the triple monitor setup, then you'd be able to see the wing mirrors, which you can't see here because I'm not using the right view. I know there's, maybe I could adjust it myself. I haven't really played around with it too much, but I think you probably need a triple monitor screen setup to really kind of make it worthwhile. Although at esports we do have the single one. I'm not sure how they configure theirs, if they can see the wing mirrors or anything like that. Maybe you need VR to actually make that work, but regardless, this feels really, really intense. Definitely a lot more enjoyable than the TV pod one, and I'm just really interested to hear what you guys really think as we just really now just talk about the gameplay now against this 110 AI. It felt very, very difficult. And this AI is definitely, I think we've proven it already. If you haven't watched my career mode and what I did in the McLaren, which is going to probably take me quite some time to get to a reasonable level where I could even get points in there. This AI is very, very, very challenging, particularly in a straight line. And it seems to be that their curves, ERS, they seem to have it all the time. I'm really, really enjoying this. Although the only complaint I do have is that if you do go down the inside of them, and you'll probably see a little bit later in this, they don't really care about their spatial awareness when you are around them. That's the only negative kind of thing I really have at this point. But we're going to go into the pits now, because undercuts in this game I think are pretty OP, especially in a 25 or even a 50% race, because tyre wear is not really too bad, and tyre temps aren't really, for myself, too much of a factor. Although they heat up very quickly, they don't seem to overheat. It seems to be pretty difficult to actually overheat these tyres. So we're actually going to go pitting early, and let's see if we can get the undercut, because our pace was pretty good there considering in this view. I haven't actually tested it in TV pods of what I could have done, what I could have done in this Red Bull. I think it probably would have been only maybe a few temps quicker or something like that. But I can see almost doing a Grosjean coming out of the pits there. But yeah, I felt I got up to speed with this pretty quickly. I know there's a lot better Cockpit players than me. People like Lucas Blakely and stuff like that, they're insane, who do AWR in this. But yeah, really enjoyable. And if it was forced for leagues, then I would have absolutely no problem using this view, because it's going to be the same for everyone. And as long as it's the same for everyone, I have no problem at all. We can see, coming towards the outlap now, no one has pitted yet, and you can see the leaders just coming into view into maggots of Beckers now. You can see the two Mercedes, Ferraris, and my teammate. And we're just going to skip on lap by lap just to see where they are to us on the crossover each time. And it looks like it's around about the same. It looks like they maybe even gained a little bit of time there. On lap 8 now, let's see if we gained any more time and come through here. I think we're starting to gain them ever so slightly, not too much. But now, starting lap 9, one of them is pitted, and I think Bottas or Hamilton's pitted as well. That is Vettel. And let's see, looks like it's going to be a little bit slow coming out of the pits here. And the one thing with this camera, it's very hard to judge how close you are to the car in front of you, like real life. I'm pretty sure the real life view is probably even worse than this. You literally cannot see your front wing at all. And that makes it exciting, makes it pretty more intense, just a lot more challenging. And as I said, perfectly welcomed if anyone else wants to force it for a league. And I really do hope leagues actually ban setups, actually make it on default, because I think that'd be very interesting to see of how people will perform if they didn't use that. But coming through here now, trying to maximise the advantage I do have, which is the cornering speed. It seems to be, we definitely gain a little bit more in the corners, but on the straights, they're very good. Unless you're in DRS. If you're in DRS and slipstream, which we are about to see here, come on to DRS here as my teammate is now going to the pits, putting it to no ERS and back down to standard. You seem to be absolutely fine now. Could have even gone for a move here, but I decided to stay behind him. Wanted to really use his toe, and as you can see, the ERS on my steering wheel, we're trying to save quite a lot per lap, but it's so hard to save ERS. There's no way you're going to be able to go and hot lap and overtake all the time. There's absolutely no way that you can do that. A few people have still pitted now, and looks like the remaining Mercedes and Ferrari are coming out. It looks like we come out ahead of my teammate, going side by side with Charles Leclerc now, going around the outside of him, going into turn 2. Managing to make up a position here, so the undercut did work a little bit side. We definitely gained a little bit more time than them. And now let's see if we can stay with this AI now, because they are just so quick. But as I said, if you're in the DRS of them, it's fine. Coming through here now, definitely gaining a little bit more time under braking. So Red Bull, very good chassis in the corners. You can see once again the apex speed were definitely quicker, but let's see the exit. What they get an insane exit, and you can just see this is where they really gain it. It's just on the acceleration and pure straight line. But going into the old turn 1, dropping it down to 7th gear, almost going for that turn. You can see making up the time once again. But Leclerc quickly closing in with my teammate a little way behind. So hopefully Gasly and the car we're in, we can have a better weekend. It looks to be not too bad so far, but we don't know the fuel levels or anything at all. Going on this DRS straight, and you can see again, don't have to run enriched or ERS at all. We comfortably do this, and I think this is the same for online. You really don't need to do that at all. It seems if you're in the DRS and slipstream, this is where you can gain a lot of time on people and just save so much. And I think that's probably going to be a strategy a lot of people are going to be doing. You don't really want to be leading too much, but you can see here, get an insane exit off the corner, the Ferrari, and this is where you're going to have to be a little bit wary now. But through the turn 1, they definitely lose a little bit of time. And Vettel's actually got past Bottas, which I didn't really notice there. 3rd gear locking up slightly, making sure we're very aggressive on the throttle, because in this car it's very extremely stable. It's almost glued to the ground. It's almost impossible to spin this car, and we aren't using assists or anything at all. All the assists off, the traction, ABS, all that stuff is off here. And I was thinking to try and get a podium. If I could get a podium in this car with the default setup, the only thing I changed was just the front brake bias, just put it down to 55, just to give me a little bit better rotation. But you can see just off this corner, this is definitely where we are lacking somewhat off this. But going through Old Tail 1, got to try and maximise this now. Going through here now, could have carried a little bit more speed, but the Ferrari is coming up so quickly, actually making contact for Becker's hand, blocking my view temporarily going through here. And the closing speed that Ferrari had going through there was just ridiculous, how fast he was coming through here. But thankfully, or luckily, we are still in the DRS of Valtteri Bottas, and you can see the arrow, how much time he's gained through here. don't really seem to pull away that much through here now. But going even into chicane, he just gains so much time in me. And I'm driving. I felt I was driving very, very well at this point. I think I was driving really smoothly. Pretty much the maximum I could do on this day was how I'm driving here now. Got 2 laps of the race here to go. Let's see if we can try and get back in the DRS of Bottas. But that's the thing with this AI. If you get out of their DRS, it's very, very hard to get back in it again. Trying to use all the track possible. Didn't actually downshift the gear. It actually stayed in 4th. Wanted to go in 3rd there. Almost losing the car on the exit. And let's see how quick he is in a straight line. I think it's going to be pretty much impossible to keep it on. So we'll just go decide to do what we do in the league racing of the previous game. I know in league racing this game I definitely need to be a lot more aggressive. I probably would have defended that position if it was a real league race. But on this occasion, I know it's pretty comfortable to stay within the DRS here. And I know for this section of the middle sector, I feel I'm actually quicker than the AI going through here. So using hardly any ERS or anything, going through here, you can see just the cornering speed, we definitely have a lot more. And if you're in the slipstream of them, they definitely don't pull away as much. It's just if you're outside that slipstream zone, they're just so OP in a straight line. We're coming through here now. Very, very hard to see the corners. Your hands covering your face, almost losing the car somehow. And DRS once again, putting it to high and then back down to none, most likely, which we do there. And putting it in standard. Through this corner, definitely getting a bit of time, and you can see how much they've pulled away just for that little bit of squabbling. Yeah, you really have to not make any mistakes against this AI. Coming for this last corner, this is where you can see how much speed, acceleration they get through there. Yeah, this is absolutely crazy. Engine overheating now because you don't want to be running on rich. You want to try and avoid running on rich as much as possible, but I really needed to do it here because I just needed to just try and match them in a straight line because we're a little bit of a deficit. Coming for this turn now. First gear just to get a little extra rotation here. And let's see if we can make a move going to this one. Engine's still pretty hot. This occasion I decided to turn it down a little bit because I'm not really close enough to make a move here. Could have thought about it there, but the AI, very, very risky. I'm almost pushing him around these corners now. And I actually made a little bit of contact with him. 3rd gear, trying to get a good exit, but again, the acceleration is just superior in the AI in these cars. And now we're going to be extremely close, and all really it's about is just staying close through Macca's and Beckett's, and we should have a good opportunity going on the exit of here now. Looks like he's actually defending a little bit slightly. He's still got some fuel, no ERS, and just really bad to get a good exit. Having to lift off a little bit off the throttle there, trying to spot where the corner is because I literally cannot see at all. DRS here, putting into Rich and overtake. Looks like he's turned up a little bit slightly as well because he's very quick in a straight line. Not defending there, which is a little bit disappointing. I wish the AI defended, particularly on last laps into corners like that. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Got to defend this inside here because they do break very, very late. Spotting the apex here, actually catching up to Bottas, who Vettel looks like he's taken the lead. And he's actually won this race somehow. We're coming across the line and we come home in 4th place against this AI. And just let me know what you thought of that, of using that camera. Was it definitely more entertaining than using the TV cam? For me, I probably won't be using it unless leagues were forced having it. I really don't mind what view I use as long as it's the same for everyone. Then yeah, but TV pod, probably still going to be using that because it's just a view I thought I'm fastest in, and it's all just personal preference at the end of the day. But let me know if you enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed the Grand Prix this weekend. Hopefully it should be a good one. I will be there Saturday and Sunday, which is tomorrow after this. So if you're there, don't be afraid to come say hi, and I will catch you soon. Peace.